Aisha, they all fall down. And that's exactly what has happened with the Delhi Capitals today. Like a cycle stand, like dominoes, you will just keep finding analogies and nothing will just explain what has happened out there today. Hello and welcome to MPL Presents Cricket Buzz Live. I've got Simon Dole and Michael Vaughan here with me. Gentlemen, what did we just see? 8 runs, 7 wickets, a match in hand, taken by the Delhi Capitals, gift wrapped with a little ribbon given to Kings 11 Punjab saying, Happy birthday, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
You go on. Oh, I can't
I know the problem. Delhi changed the name to Delhi Capitals. The problem is Delhi. They just need to get rid of Delhi.
Yeah.
I mean, great for Sam Curran. A hat-trick for the young English player. I mean, incredible really what he's produced, but you can't tell me that the skill levels on show by Kings were so good that you should lose 7 wickets for 8 runs when you controlled the game. Rishabh Pant, he'll be in that dressing room because he started all that. He just hit a 6th. He'd relieved all the pressure, and then he goes for another one when all that was required was like head on, boom. 2's into that outfield. If you time it nicely, it goes for foot. You don't need to take any more risks. You've taken the risk, you put it into the stands.
It was 23 of 20 at the time.
You didn't need to do anything else. Win the game. Don't think about being the superstar all the time and the flamboyant play. Win the game. You've done all the hard work. And full credit to Kings because they kept belief. Ravi Ashwin, the run out of Chris Morris again. You'd look at that from a senior player and go, why take that risk? Then you look at Ingram. Why take that on? You don't need to take that on trying to beat Long off on the boundary at that stage. Other stages you take it on, but at that stage you don't need to do that. So I can only imagine what Ricky Ponting is doing in that dressing room right now.
Be pulling his hair out, and it's not actually his. It's
someone else.
It's somebody's bought.
Yeah,
so,
it's a horse. It's someone's horse. He's pulling someone's horse out.
And it's not even his own. He shouldn't pull it out because it's not cheap either.
No.
But look,
they've fallen off the horse today, the Delhi Capitals, right? Because it was just a gentle trot to the win,
honestly.
and then they decided, hey, we're going to play cowboy. And
look, Vaughan right. I mean, first of all, you get run out by Ravi Ashwin. All due respect. I mean, anyone else is going to run you out by 4 metres.
Yeah, he's not the, as we were saying, Cowboys, he's not the sharpest gun in the West. Right?
Not at all. So Morris makes a huge mistake. But just the inability to finish off a game.
Yeah.
And that's what's cost them. And, you know, I know it looks great if it goes out of the park again. And it looks great if you're hitting 2 or 3 sixes in a row. But last game, they got it wrong. It shouldn't have gone to a super over.
Yeah.
This game, they had an opportunity to resurrect that or to make it right and get it done in the first place. I mean, Ingram was... For an experienced player, and that, I mean, I can understand Rishabh Pant. I don't condone it, but I can understand. He's 21 years old. He will learn, hopefully, from this year and next year.
He played so nicely as well. He played with his head. He played sensibly.
He had played well. But Colin Ingram, what was he thinking for an experienced campaigner? That's why they picked him. That's why they're batting him at 5 to hold that middle order together, to win games for them. So that was inexplicable.
One of my biggest bugbears in punditry is when you pundit and you're a pundit and you say something quite strong, which we will do now.
Yeah.
And then someone say, yeah, but it had gone for 6. You'd have been saying, what a great shot. It didn't.
Yeah.
And he was out.
Yeah.
And it's cost his team the game.
Yeah.
So there's times when it goes for 6 and they win the game, and we don't talk like this because the game's won.
Yeah.
But in stages where you look at MS Dhoni, the way that he batted last night, just sensible, cool, calm. All right, he's setting the game, he's batting first, but you can see all the time he's thinking, risk. Do I need to take a risk? And when you're trying to win a game and chase a total down, there comes a stage when you're out there in the middle and you're winning the game so comfortably, Ingram and Rishabh Pant, and you go, Colin Ingram should have gone down and said, Rishabh, just hit 6, don't take any more risks.
Yeah.
You don't need to take any more risks. Use your head. I'll use it for you. If you're not going to do it yourself, just stay cool, knock it into the onside for 1s and 2s.
Yeah, just cool the blood down, because he's 21-year-old, so just tell him, it's okay, buddy, you've got that out of your system.
I'm sure that's why they bought Colin Ingram. I'm sure that's what his role is. Bat at number 5, you're batting a round of Shikadowan goes early, you're possibly in, reasonably early. You've got to look after the likes of Shreyas Iyer, of Prithvi Shaw, Rishabh Pant. These guys are around you. You're the senior player. They've got one at the top and one at 5 to do that exact job. And tonight, again, I mean, it's not good enough.
Were they somewhere scarred from the previous game and trying to finish this in the 19th?
Well, what they should have learnt from the previous game is to play sensibly.
Yeah.
you know, I was sitting in there watching, thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to get on that sofa and give Rishabh Pant the biggest praise because everyone says he's just a one-dimensional player. Yeah. All he can do is whack the ball. Well, that innings tonight was smart, it was clever until that moment that he took that risk. Yeah. Because he'd done all the damage. And I was watching thinking, just play the sensible game, man. You've done everything. You played sensibly to start, and you'd hit that 6 when the pressure was just starting to build. You'd done the damage with the risk at the right time. Just play sensibly, get over the line, get not out, and you think, whoa, this kid's learning quick.
It's a big ground. It's a big ground. Punjab doesn't really have the quickest fielders. You know you're going to get 2s in and actually still finish it in the 19th over. Yeah. There was time when we were watching that, we got, it'll probably, my guess, 17.3. And we said, no, it will go to 18. Okay, 18.3. Never did we ever think. At that point, if somebody asked us to bet our house on a Delhi win, we would have bet it. We were like, of course.
You'd still go with Delhi, but I mean, you know, we can talk and we can have a go at Delhi the whole night, but we still probably have to pay some credit to Kings 11 and the way they
held
bowled.
their nerve.
Yeah, and they did hold their nerve, and to, you know, well, I mean, Sam Curran, I was probably very surprised. I think a lot were very surprised with his price at auction. He hasn't paid it all back tonight, but he's gone a little way to showing people that, you know, he can hold his nerve for a young man. There's another young man. I mean, he's got balls. He's not old. Yeah. He held his nerve properly at the death there. Got those Yorkers in, nicked one out, and then a couple of great Yorkers in. So he looked good family. Enough. Yeah.
Curran family. I mean, they lost the father, Kevin, who was a professional player, played at Northampton for many years, Gloucester as well.
Yeah.
Real competitor.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, real competitor out on the field. Yeah. I played against him back in the day, and he was really in your face. You always felt you're in the battle, and he's just giving it all to his kids. Because all of them, you know, you've got Rory who plays at Northants, who's the eldest, and then you've got Sam, who we've seen tonight. We've got Tom who plays for England. He plays at Surrey. He did well in the Big Bash for the Sydney Sixers, and they've got that competitive. How you can coach that, I'm not too sure. Yeah. They are born competitors. They are born to just play cricket. They're born for that kind of moment. When he had the ball in hand, I was thinking, well, how are you going to cope? And then I thought, wait a minute, he's a Curran. He'll be absolutely fine.
He'll be fine.
Because they actually love, you know, forget how old he is. He's done it for 3 or 4 years at Surrey. He played in a final for Surrey when he was 17. Yeah. And it was almost as if, all right, he looks about 5. Yeah. But the way that he plays is like a 35-year-old. He's got that nous in his
lot
head.
of wisdom.
A lot to be said for that backyard tussle as well.
Must have been a good game.
Yeah, well, it'd been a heck of a backyard game, wouldn't it? I mean, I mean, you look at Krunal and Hardik. Yeah. I mean, and maybe Yusuf and Irfan in Indian terms. I mean, there's a lot to be said for those backyard battles, just maybe giving you a little bit of steel.
There'll be a lot of Indians out there trying to get some more backyard players now. Competitive edge. The gully cricket, get them all out there.
Just put them in. But with the kind of haphazard infrastructure development in India, you don't have too many backyards anymore, right? And if they do, there's so much pollution, you can't see the ball. Well, today, they couldn't see the ball from Sam Curran as well. We see him clearly. He's our MPL hero of the match, and rightfully so. Took a hat-trick to wrap things up in the end. There you go, give away 20 runs, and then you go, took 4 wickets. Scored 20 runs of 10 balls, and of course picked up 4 wickets. Also very important is that you spoke about the plan of having him bowl in the middle. He's very good when he's getting some swing. Yep. There's no swing on offer today. Sometimes you get swing on offer in Mohali, early in the day perhaps. Nothing for him there today, but came in the end and realised that these guys are going to go for it. Let me just keep it wicket to wicket.
Yeah, he went full and straight. There was a little bit of tail. There was a little bit of tail into Rabada with the ball just kind of dipping into the left-hander. Then he gets one just onto the off stump again, just a little bit of tail away from the right-hander, and then you just know that he's going to hit that zone. Yeah. You know, he's a good cricketer. He's just got that ability to be able to produce skill under a huge amount of pressure, and that price tag, what was it, 850?
850,000 US, I think. But it's a good win. That's a good win. It's a game. Win. You know, we talked about Rajasthan. We talked about RCB. Teams that don't know how to win.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the Kings 11 have proved that tonight. They've maybe just got a little bit more about them this year that they actually can find a win.
The problem with Delhi, Dooley, on the other foot, that everyone knows now that they play against Delhi, it doesn't matter what the situation is.
You're always in the game.
You keep fighting because they've got it in them to collapse.
Yeah, get them 5 down.
Yeah, you don't even if they're setting, chasing, it doesn't matter. You know, in their mentality, they've not been great at getting over the line. They really struggled to get over the line against KKR. They've absolutely collapsed against Kings tonight. So whoever plays against Delhi now, they're just going to push them all the way. Even if they only need 10 with 7 wickets remaining, with 3 overs, they'll just go keep fighting, because you just know that a young team, inexperienced team. You know, that's why you're absolutely right, Dool. You mentioned the Ingrams, you mentioned Ravi Ash. You know, you mentioned, the Ravi Ashton playing against, who probably used all his kind of now. You're looking at all those kind of players. Rabada's played a bit now. Yeah. They're going to have to really bring out their experience to help those youngsters along. Yeah,
well, there is our super team hero as well, our MPL super team hero. Let's see who's on the leaderboard. Just pop the name out. There you go. Moinuddin, congratulations. 383.25 points. So well done. You are our super team hero on MPL. How difficult is it now for Delhi? So 2 chases that they pretty much bungled now with their inexperience. They won the first game. They won it, of course, against Mumbai by batting first. That's probably the trick for them, bat first and do what you can. But now every other team knows that when they're chasing, they can be brittle in the middle.
Well, you take the pressure off yourselves. I mean, you've got a young, talented side. Take the pressure off. And Shreyas Iyer had that opportunity tonight, but he chose to bowl first.
Yeah.
He could have gone up front. And sometimes I think when you've got a free-flowing batting unit, allow them to just set. Because there's no pressure. There's no total on the board that you have to chase.
Yeah.
So maybe take that pressure off by just saying, go out and be yourselves. And if we continue to play the way we want to play, we will get 200 more often than not on a good surface. But if we put ourselves under pressure and try and chase all the time, then we maybe just limit ourselves a little bit. So, I mean, he had the opportunity to bat first tonight on a cracking pitch, a really good surface, and chose not to.
I think if you're looking at it purely as like a coaching's perspective and you want to look at it positively, you'd be saying to the players, wait a minute, 95% of the last 2 games we've been outstanding. 95%. It's just that 5%, which is the hardest bit of the lot, is the winning bit.
Yeah.
So we've twice on the trot got ourselves in such good positions by playing solid cricket in the field, clever, tactically really smart, fielded well, they're athletic in the unit, and then all of a sudden the batters go out and play nicely, and it's just that 5% at the end, and that comes down to individuals. It's not anything you can talk about in a team room, and I'm sure they'll have loads of team meetings, which they probably don't need to happen. They just need to look themselves down and go, when we get ourselves in that position, you as an individual, just take the responsibility. You've got to get us over the line.
Yeah.
Forget what's happened in the past. We've got so close, it just needs a little bit of this. When you get
just stay not out. I mean, just look at old CSK videos, right? Yeah. Just look at MS Dhoni videos. And that's all probably they need to do, because something like this can really dent you psychologically. What are we talking about? We're talking about the second worst collapse pretty much in this tournament. Let's show you the fall of wickets. And trust me, this is not fiction. You're not writing this, right? Just look at it. They were 144 for 3. And then they have gone and lost everything at 152.
They needed 23.
Of 20 at that
stage.
Yeah.
23 off 20. With Rishabh Pant and Colin Ingram at the crease.
Both set.
They lost by 14.
I know. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, but they did.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose in this fashion, because it'll get talked about for years.
Yeah, but that's not. But here's the thing. I wish there was talking points given to teams, because they would be right up there. CSK would probably win every year anyway, right? But these guys will get a lot of those talking points. But full points, as Simon said to Kings 11. They stayed in the team. They stayed in the game. They kept believing. But again, I think, Wani, what you said in the beginning, I don't know how much Punjab did and how much it was just Delhi undoing themselves.
They
just unraveling.
Look, we saw some Yorkers, we saw a bit of tail, but it's nothing as a...